everyone. How's it going? And back it up into the drive. There we go. We have music, and it's not glitched. Chaos? Haha! You failed, Kaz. You failed. Chaos did not happen. Haha. Hello, Clara. Clara?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. I was worried.
I said hi.
Did you?
Audio cut off. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Possibly.
Discord, as usual.
Discord, as usual. I'll get you next time, Kaz, please. Why? Why do you wanna cause chaos? I mean, we've yet to see you in game, but we know that you're in here somewhere causing mischief, okay? You've tempted Ashara into the dark side. Is that not enough for you? My wires are getting, like... I am the mischief? I mean... You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Nope.
But this I'm fine.
Not enough.
Go away. No.
So... Do you remember what happened last time at Claria?
We would do it again.
I feel like we hit like a real deja vu here. We're kind of stuck in a village because we were arrested for something that we clearly did not do. But we saw the cutest thing on the planet, so it made up for it. Look at it! Look at it! It's so cute!
Adorable.
And the real crime, Eclaria, is that we kidnapped it, right? That's what we got arrested for originally. None of this bullcrap about poisoning the river. No. I had kidnapped that child. And take care of it. Is that a crime? I'm taking real good care of my little baby water dragon. Okay. So this is a bit more awkward. We have to talk to everyone in this town.
Okay.
Like, everyone. So... I think we start over... Seeing as we started from over here, I think we start from over here and work our way around. And talk to this girl first, and you can be this girl.
Ah, the river dyed crimson, a horrifying sight.
The river dried crimson? I take it you're not talking about the setting sun or anything like that, are you?
The color of blood is the color of death. Jesus Lord. Yet no one was hurt. Our only salvation.
So that means the poison was red? Can't imagine how much you'd need to dye the whole river, though.
It lasted mere moments, but the river was stained red as far as the eye could see.
Okay, lovely.
The source was upstream. All that remained were the corpses of the fish. No, not the fish.
Not the fish!
Not the fish.
Kaz is killing fish now.
Oh no.
Are you killing fish, Kaz? What did the fish ever do to you?
How dare. We know not when the river will be pure once again. Thus, the men cannot fish.
Oh god. No ocean fishing for you guys. That does sound pretty tough. Were the fishermen okay? The ones who were out on the water when the poison showed up?
Fortunately, they noticed quickly. There were no casualties.
I legit forgot you were Ozma.
Oh no! Several fishermen who had came into contact with the substance did fall ill. But all of them have made a full recovery since.
So it's poisonous to fish. And not humans. Good to know.
Our only salvation. The spiders were uninjured too.
A large amount of poison coming from upstream. We might be dealing with a bigger disaster than I thought. Okay. Kaz killing fish. I think we talk to everybody that's outside first, and then we talk to people inside. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah.
Alright, fishermen, talk to me. I heard you're investigating the poisoning of the river. Well, try not to cause too much trouble while you're doing it. Especially you with the red hair. Most people here still suspect you, myself included. Is it because the river turned red and my hair is red? Is that why I'm being suspected? Wow.
I guess so.
The river isn't red now, though. That doesn't help my case, does it? It could be because you caught me, right? That's why the river isn't red anymore. Anyway. So if you so much as look at one of us funny, we're not going to show you any mercy. You got that? Okay, so do not look at people funny. Gotcha. I can work with that.
How do you look at people funny? I sometimes do not understand.
Your turn.
This frog seems afraid to go back into the river.
Oh no, poor frog.
Oh no. Can't say I blame him. I mean, there's always a chance someone might poison it again.
The frog lived. I didn't even notice him! Look at him! Look at the big frog! Do you see him?
Yeah!
Hang on, I'll zoom in. Look at him! Look,
He's so big.
he's so big! So big! Okay, right. I'm getting distracted. The prisoner didn't make it the poison didn't make it this far down the river. As a result, the village's drinking water is safe for the time being, but I can't say with confidence that will remain that way. If the poison were to reach our drinking water, this village would be finished. If you really aren't the culprit, hurry up and catch the real one, please. Okay. It's so boring when you can't go out and fish.
All you do is grumble about not being able to go fishing. If you got time to grumble, spend it sorting out what I'm going to eat instead.
I would if I could, but what am I supposed to do? How long has it been since the poison first appeared in the river, anyway? Oh, it's you.
I see you're investigating the poisoning with Ozma. Well, go on, Reyna. Answer the question.
Right. The poison first appeared in the river about 10 days ago, I think. 10 days. Quite a while ago, then.
Is that all you have to say?
What?
You're missing the most important detail. It happened immediately after this red-headed swordsman here left the village.
Go figure! But... Really?
And he disappeared without telling anyone where he was going, or even telling anyone that he was leaving.
Oh, yeah. That was a good idea, Adolf. Why? He just wanted to head off on his next adventure and didn't want to worry you guys. And didn't say goodbye. And just left. Oh boy.
How could we not suspect him? There's a mountain of evidence implicating him in this.
Mountain, you say? Gotta admit, I see your point.
Still, the evidence against Ada is purely circumstantial. We cannot prove his guilt any more than his innocence. We must continue our investigation.
Alright, kid, talk to me. Oh, wait. I mean, get lost, prisoner. I'm not gonna help a baddie like you. Go away!
Damn, okay, kid.
I can buy stuff, unlike the other place where I couldn't buy anything. So... that's cool.
That's very nice of them.
Mm-hmm. Reinforcing at the sailory. Oh, we have a blacksmith. Reinforcer are fine. Goes up from Longsaber +3 to Longsaber +8.
Damn. That's a huge jump.
I need more coal. Again. Get out of my way, I'm busy. I'm busy here. You wanna do something? Talk to Shiryu. Okay. Look at Shiryu, hard at work again today. But that damn Hacken keeps getting in my way, so I can't stare at her. I can't stop, bro. Your turn.
If we can't get any fish to eat, then I'll have to. No, what am I thinking?
You have to kill the baby boars. Little
No.
piggies. Look at them. Look at these chunkies. You'll have to kill these and eat these guys. Kozaks said he used to live in the forest on his own. But he said it before I was born, so that's all I know. Okay. House.
Yeah, at all. It's great to see you. Didn't think you'd come back here.
Who might you be?
My name is Geza. Wait, you're not serious, are you?
I've forgotten everything.
You didn't forget me, did you?
Yes.
Bro, how could you, bro?
Actually, yeah, he forgot you for sure. You
You lost your memory? Huh, I see. That's terrible.
Huh. You're more understanding than the other villagers.
Well, Edo and I became good friends when he last stopped by.
Oh, nice. I made a friend before I poisoned the river. Cool. We all know that Kaz poisoned the river, really. Anyway. Sorry.
I can't believe people suspect you poisoned the river. I know you never do such a thing. I wish there was something I could do to help. But I've spent so much of my time in the forest lately, I doubt anyone's going to believe any defense I could put together.
In the forest? What were you doing there?
One of Gazel's interests is exploring old ruins. Yep. I lived in the forest all by my lonesome until a few decades ago. I got pretty used to it, really.
You're kidding, man. You must be pretty tough if you survived in a place like that for so long.
Of course. That's why people call me Gazok the Strong. Oh, but don't let me hold you up.
Kaz says, play in the river? Nah, 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 nah. I poison the river. Muhahaha.
Of course.
Kaz is just being cynical in the chat.
As usual.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you've got more important things to do than stand around and chit chat.
No, that's what the game wants me to do, apparently.
You apologize for taking up your time as well.
Come on, let's go get back to asking around. Let's see, any more people out here that I can talk to? I'm not tired, that's a lie. That yawn is a lie. Oh. Ozma, you're wasting your time if you think they're going to be able to prove their innocence. That red-haired there is the culprit. Nothing will change that.
Do you have any evidence to back that claim, Rival?
Of course, the poison came from upstream, right? And upstream is the dwelling of the Sprathas. Oh, so the sacred beasts live upstream? But how does that prove Adol's the culprit? Because no one from this village would dare go upstream and approach the sacred beast's dwelling. But I would. Not unless they were one of Ozma's tribesmen, anyway. But there's only one of those left. And it's Ozma himself. So the only one that could have gone upstream to poison the river, there would be an outsider. And those are in pretty short supply. Not right now, they're not. Ozma could be the culprit too. Is that all you've got on me? Of course you're playing innocent. It's pretty much all you've got left. Naturally, there's plenty more evidence than just that. You were asking about the sacred beast's dwelling, you know. Yeah, he's like that. If there's something new and exciting to explore, he wants to explore it. It's his nature. Say what you want, he still did it. Don't you have any shame at all? You could spare yourself a lot of embarrassment if you just confess. I said all I have to say. I don't want to talk to you any longer. Go away and never return. Man, Adol, you really don't seem to be the popular around here. Guess you do stick your nose in everybody's business, though, so it's really not any surprise. Hey, we did it! I didn't think we talked to everyone. I thought there was more people to talk to. I guess not. I think that we got enough information to start with, at least. Let's go through what we know and see if we can sort it out, okay? First, let's see. When did the villagers first notice the poison? After I left. Yeah, they noticed it after you left, Sarai. That's why you're getting the blame for it. Next question. How did they notice it? The river was dyed red. It changed color, bro. Yeah, it seems whenever it was in there, colored the water red. Must have been one hell of a thing to see. And where did the poison originate from? Upstream. Yeah, that's right. It's like, have you been paying attention? The game's like, oh, you better been paying attention. Here's a quiz.
Yeah.
Why is it quizzing me? I don't like it.
You don't
And
like
it came from upstream. It must have come from somewhere outside of Sarai. Alright, Adol. If you add all that together, who stands out as the most likely culprit? It was me! It had to be! It was someone from the village. It wasn't a person at all. I don't know how the third one. I don't know how the third one. Confess? No. I don't know how the third option here is the right option. Because it don't make sense. Can we try and make sense of this, Eclaria? Do you understand what you've been listening to all of the evidence? What do you think it is? Who do you think the culprit is? Right? Going through the list of evidence that it's upstream, that the river turned red, and it happened after I left.
Well, I don't know how you would come to the conclusion that it wasn't human, though.
Yeah, right? How would we get to this conclusion? Why is this an option? It wasn't a person at all. Right? That doesn't make sense. But, I mean, are we just gonna agree with the first option?
No. Definitely not that.
It was me, it had to be. I feel like that's just a funny response, right? I feel like that's the funny response, but the actual response is one of these two. I don't think it was someone from the village, because I feel like that's impossible. Nobody knows about nobody goes upstream except for our friendo, Ozma. Right? They all stay clear of upstream. So...
yeah.
And unlike the other village, I don't think any of the villagers are missing, right? All evidence points to Adel. You're the culprit? Oh. I feel like this is the funny response, but I feel like I'm gonna have to go with that funny response because I really don't understand why it would be somebody in the village. So it's not the middle one. So, and I don't understand how, like, they came to, it wasn't a person at all.
Yeah, I don't know how what pointed it to that.
What conclusion, how did we come to that conclusion? I don't understand. So, we're going with the funny option, because I really don't know.
Uh-oh.
What? Aren't we doing all of this to prove you didn't poison the waters around here? I'll ask you again. What makes the most sense based on everything we've heard? Okay. Let's bring that back here. Okay, so it's not me, right? So we're wrong. I don't know how this makes sense, bro.
What leads you to that conclusion?
That's amazing. That makes sense when you think about it. You might wanna. Can you trade that sense and tell us what the fuck is going on? I love that Ozma is us, right? We're like, how did you come to that conclusion? Meanwhile, Durin and Adol over here, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't you know, bro? It just makes total sense. Dear God. You need a whole lot of poison to dye the entire river red. And it came from upstream. That would mean someone poured it into the river from somewhere outside the village. No way anyone can lug that much poison through the monster-infested woodlands, not on their own. Like Edo would have been... I mean, I'm not saying it would be impossible to poison the water from upstream, but to dye the whole river red? Not likely.
It all seemed rather implausible. So the conclusion then is that the culprit may be a natural occurrence or creature.
I mean, in that case, it makes sense, but, like, how would I know that? Also, why is that the right answer? We're literally saying it's option 3 because it's something else. It's not the villagers and it's not Adol. It's something else. Be it a person, a beast, or whatever, it's something else, right? That's what option 3 means. But it's weird, right? Anyway.
Adol, and you said your name was Durin, yes? Could I ask you to come with me?
We going upriver? Ugh, I feel sick. And I can't believe you're okay with all of this trashing. Is that a bird? Lucky thing up there all graceful while I'm stuck down here on these things. That is a paper plane. That is not a bird. Go! Oh crap, is that?
It's poison.
Sure looks that way. Looks like what they described in Solray. Isn't it harmful to the Spadras?
This should be far enough. Adol, I feel I must apologize to you.
What now? Why now? That's a good question. Why now? You don't need to apologize. I feel like he understands it's not us, right? Seeing that the waters dyed red with us around, he knows it's not us, right?
You're a very forgiving person, Adol, and you do not ask uncomfortable questions of others, but you deserve to hear the truth. I know the culprit that poisoned the river. Oh, fuck you, bro. What the fuck, bro?
What? Oh, what? Wait, what? Really? So why did you keep quiet about all this time?
My reason hardly makes up for all that you have been through.
It's gotta be because it's related to the Spadas, right?
As you suspect, the poison was not put into the river by a human. Rather, it was the Spartas themselves who defiled the water.
What? That's my line.
Far upstream lies the Sparta breeding ground. I'm almost certain that they are responsible for this incident.
Hold on.
Excuse me. Hold on, aren't the Spadas sacred beasts? What kind of secret beast goes around poisoning rivers?
The spider raised in Surrey are not able to do so. Wall spiders, however, are known to secrete a poisonous substance when they become excited
Or scared. Seriously? Why didn't you tell us before? Do the villagers know about this? I know that the villagers don't know, and I also know why he didn't tell us. So I feel like these options are not fair. You can pick a Claria.
I'm just gonna ask you, why didn't you just say it before?
Okay.
I am truly sorry.
I think it's to protect the spiders.
The people of my tribe have raised spiders for ages, all the while obeying the ancient laws pertaining to them.
Yeah. I called it. He kept it secret because it's his job to keep it secret.
And those laws forbade us from telling others the secret of the spider. This includes the fact that wall spider creates poison. It's all good. It's fine.
I don't know why I double-clicked X. So your reasoning for bringing us all the way here was so to keep anyone else from hearing you. Does that mean something like this has happened before?
No.
As far as I am aware, this quantity of poison has never been found in the river prior to now. Those not of my tribe are forbidden to approach the wild spider's breeding ground, and have been for as long as I know. I was told that this was to avoid angering them, but of course, protecting their secrets was also one of the utmost concern.
What could have caused this? Let's go upstream. Wait a second, Adol. You know what this means, right? We're not allowed in the spotter's breeding ground. Which means we just have to leave this to Ozma while we go back to the village and relax.
Actually, well, I realize it is quite brazen of me to ask for a favor after causing you so much trouble. I would be most appreciative if the two of you would come.
Why? Darren. Darren just really wants to go back home.
He's been to jail twice.
Right, so can you remind me where we're going?
As you wish. The wild spider breeding ground is situated south of Surrey. On the drawing you call a map, it would be about here, I do believe.
So as long as we follow the river south, it will be there in no time. Doesn't seem too far from here.
Indeed, the entrance is situated near a waterfall basin. It is difficult to miss. I have told the villagers that we are continuing the investigation. Make sure you are properly equipped for the perils that await before leaving the village.
Alright then, let's do this. Ozma joined the party! Officially! Woo! But we kinda got spoiled on that from the game, because we saw him in the party.
Yeah, we kind of saw her. You know.
Okay. How much money do I have? A pretty penny. This is where quests will be unlocked. I don't think we have a place that we can buy weapons and stuff, so we'll just head out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hey, memory point. Get that real fast. There it is. Touch the light.
You truly are an unusual visitor. You appear to have even more interest in the primeval land than the people of this village do. Though I suppose that inquisitiveness is what allowed you to come this far into the forest to begin with. Perhaps you might actually be able to reach it one day. Adel, if such a time should come. No, I suppose that is too much to hope for.
Who wants to go with you?
My apologies, Adel. Please forget I said anything. We should be returning to the village now. It seems my people wish to hold a welcoming party for you.
Aww.
And I don't want to be the one responsible for our guest of honor showing up late.
Strength increased by 1! Alright. Okay. Oh my god, we've got more memory points up here and up here that I need to get as well at some point. Eventually. Jesus. Alright, I don't think it's gonna let me go north, but I'm gonna try and go north and see if it lets me go north. Oh, it does! In that case, Eclaria, do you want to continue Edgar's story?
Give me a second.
Nothing here. Just deposits of ore.
Okay, I think I found it. Okay. You're pretty chubby after your surgery, huh? Henry said, quickly putting on a tired smile. The experiment you were part of is now over, he said, as he walked towards me. This stage of it, anyway, the results show some danger. He stopped right in front of me and looked me in the eyes. They've decided up top that an AI that develops self-consciousness is too difficult to manage, he said. Your thoughts data is going to be removed and analyzed. Then you'll be given a new personality and appearance. After that, the experiment will continue. What about you, Henry? I asked. Is that what you want? It is, he said, averting his view again. You have nothing but trouble. I signed up for this experiment to advance my career. Why else would I babysit some artificial intelligence? Now that the experiment is over, my job here is done. Sounds difficult to manage? I asked. Is that what you think, Henry? Yeah, he said. You almost got your face punched in time to fight some drunk. You made me chase after you in some punching machine you weren't even church. Then you dragged me out to go catch some rare food and ended up giving it away. I cut it up here with you. His voice quivered and his face punched up, as though he was trying to hold something back. I understand, I said. I'll do what you tell me to. I'm not going along with what the Foundation wants. I'm just taking my friend's advice. What about Clementine? He asked. I shouldn't see her, I said. It's for the best. Why, all of a sudden, he stammered. Where's that calm, scientific demeanor you had a moment ago? I gave him a small smile. You should hurry up before I change my mind. Henry closed his eyes and his face scrunched up again. No matter what happens to me, I'll still think of you as my friend. That's all, I said as I lay back down on the wood bed. Edgar, Henry's voice wavered. It feels like it's been a while since I heard you say my name, I said. He turned away and began preparing the experiment. I could hear the machinery beginning to hum around me. I felt my body getting lighter, threatening to float away. My eyes were open, but I couldn't see anything. It felt like I was the only one there. Suddenly, I found a pen and paper put in my hands. Henry must have brought them to me to write a letter. I had no idea where to start this. There was so much I wanted to say, but I didn't know where to begin. My hand holding the pen started shaking. The only lines that made it on the paper were worthless scribbles. I needed to thank her. I needed to tell her that I was sorry. It was evening and I was at the restaurant working like always. I had nowhere else to go, and work kept my mind occupied. It was only a few hours ago that I was in that building, when I saw Edgar's eyes open. I ignored Henry calling after me and ran out of the room. If we were never going to be able to see each other again, I thought it would be best if he didn't see me there. I couldn't pretend it never happened, but I needed to forget. I decided that was the only way I could keep myself going. Excuse me, miss. A voice from behind me shook me out of my thoughts. Oh, sorry, I said. I'll be right with you. I quickly wiped the tears from my eyes and turned around. A middle-aged man was standing at the entrance of the restaurant. Check our finale of Chapter Atlas Edgar. Is a young man named Edgar here? The man asked me. Hearing the name brought a sudden sharp pain to my chest. He told me I could usually find him at the restaurant, he continued. I started to tell him, but I stopped myself. He isn't here today. Oh, that's a shame, he said. How about Henry? I shook my head. He let out a disappointed sigh. Well, you can see either of them. Could you let them know I'll be at the inn? As he turned to me, I noticed his jacket had an emblem with a fish on it. I promised him I would, but after he left, I regretted not telling him Edgar wouldn't be coming back. That night, we closed the restaurant without seeing Edgar. When it occurred to me that every night would be like this from now on, I thought an emptiness inside of me. Closing for the day, huh? I heard a voice as I locked the front door and turned to go home. Oh, Henry. What do you want? I couldn't figure out if seeing him made me more sad or angry. He didn't say anything. He just handed me a folded slip of paper. I didn't read it. He said quietly. I expected him to leave, but he just turned his back to me and stood there. I opened up the paper. It was covered in shaky writing. This is my first letter I've ever written. I can't seem to organize my thoughts, so please forgive me. Machines don't know how to forget. We can faithfully record data or faithfully delete it. That's all. I thought that for someone like me, forgetting would be as easy and simple as deleting a file. Not something to regret or burn. But as I write this now, I'm filled with a strange feeling, like I don't want to forget. It's because I've met you. You who accepted me. What?
Cutscene.
Whoa, look at that!
Secret behind a waterfall. There's always a secret behind a waterfall.
Are you sure there's a secret? It's a pretty big structure, I'm just saying. This is the place.
So this is the secret beast's lair, huh? Though, thought it'd be a bit more like a nest, being a beast's lair and all. Didn't expect it to be full of ruins. Come here often, Ozma?
I try to avoid coming here as much as possible. Particularly as this is the place where I lost my mother and father.
Aww.
I cannot say I have very fond memories of it.
Aww. Really?
All of the Spardas raised in Celery were captured here when they were infants. My parents were killed by the poison of an adult Sparda while attempting to trap it young.
Aww.
Trap it young. But I cannot let the people of Celery know that.
Why do you bear this burden alone?
Because I am the last of my tribe.
Can I
The
hug
law
him?
is made. I don't know, like, if he's the last one in his tribe, right? Does the law really apply that much? Then at the end of the day, who picked the law and who is there to impose? Is it him? Is he the one imposing the law on himself?
Yes, pretty much. To honor
Yeah,
his
that-
dead parents.
Yeah. The laws essentially forbid me from telling the people of my village the truth about these creatures. How could I reveal to them that two in our ranks, a tribe that cares for beasts, were killed by those very beasts?
Do you really need to go that far to keep it all a secret, though? I get that the Spardas are essential to your everyday life in Surrey, but surely it'd be better if everyone worked together to care for them, right? It's not... It's gonna hurt keeping this all to yourself. Do you really think you can keep it up?
The laws of my tribe are absolute. There's nothing I can do about them.
You know what he needs? He needs a head pat and a hug.
Pet the Ozma.
You know something? Kaz brings up a really good point. Where is the Bishop?
Oh, he's making some food.
Ah. When Bishop comes, we'll have Bishop pet him and hug him, give him pets. Because Ozma needs all the pets.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'll pet Basil back.
Oh, pet the basil.
I'll pet the Basil. I need to work on that on getting that pet the basil animated emote because I really want it now.
It's become essential.
It's become essential that I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you read this, yes?
Yes.
It's like I'm talking to a brick wall.
That I am.
Don't know what that's like. I have no idea. There's treasure over here. A greenstone? I got 20? Wow.
Oh.
Okay, I'm inside a thing.
This area appears to have filled with water.
Looks like there's a staircase on the other side.
Indeed, but the water seems to have eroded the path, putting it just out of our reach. Ada, we should investigate the area and see if we can find another way to reach the staircase.
Looks like there's a wall under... Looks like the wall under the water has seen better days.
This ruins is several hundred years old, so such a thing is to be expected.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine with fissures that size, the wall should be brittle enough to break with my spear.
Break the wall, the water flows out. Sounds like an idea. Try not to bring the whole place down on our heads, and we're golden.
There is no need for concern. My touch is a delicate one.
Ozma spears! Okay. There treasure here?
Leave it to me. My turn.
Oh.
All right. Understood.
Fancy that? I made a puddle bigger.
My turn. All right.
It's weird not having music.
Yeah.
The ambience is just... Oh. Whoa. Oh, there we go. There's music. Sacred Bee Slayer. Wouldn't have guessed this place was so big from the outside.
Likewise, truth be told, I have yet to explore it in its entirety myself.
Really? Guess we'll just have to do the honors now then.
Be cautious. There are many dangers lurking in these depths.
Okay. Okay. You may continue, I guess. I'll let you know. I'll yell if there's a cutscene.
Okay. Ah yes, the tearjerker is here. Alright, this is my first battle I've ever written. I can't seem to organize my thoughts, so please forgive me. Machines don't know how to forget. We can faithfully record data or faithfully delete it. That's all. I thought that someone like me, forgetting would be easy, would be as easy and simple as deleting a file. Not something to regret or mourn. But as I write this now, I am filled with a strange feeling, like I don't want to forget. It's because no one goes after me despite the fact that I have no blood in my veins and no heart in my chest. You saw me, not as a machine, but as a person. You brought love and beauty into the life of this simple puppet. Thank you. I'm sure it must be disappointing for us to part like this. I'm sorry for that. The lie I lived is too big to beg for forgiveness for. I only ask that you don't be angry with me. Finally, I want to express the feeling I've been holding in my heart since I first met you. May you find all the happiness in the world. That is my deep prayer for you. I fell to my knees, crying, gripping the letter in my hands. I couldn't stop my tears, and I didn't care if my sobbing echoed through the dark streets. I didn't care if anyone saw me or what they thought. Edgar, I forced to lean out through my sobs. Hearing me, Henry turned around. His eyes were puffy and he had a pained expression. Please, I looked at him. Help me. He met my gaze. I understand, he said after hesitating. I stood alone in front of the door Henry had brought me to. Once we had gotten there, he told me it was as far as he could take me. As he turned to leave, I told him about the man who had come to visit the restaurant. Henry's expression grew serious, but I said nothing and continued. I never let that matter down. I took a deep breath and stepped through the door. Who are you? The room was filled with researchers in white lab coats. They were huddled around a workbench. Lying on top of the workbench was Edgar. How did you get in here? Shouted one of the researchers. This is a restricted area. Undeterred, I walked forward. Give me Edgar. I echoed them. Several of them looked at each other and chuckled. Oh, you're that girl who was here the other day, said one. Know that all of Edgar's data had already been extracted for analysis, said another. The Edgar you knew doesn't exist anymore. His feelings were real. I said, my voice cracking. No, said the researcher. That's not possible, because artificial intelligence are not human. They are simply tools, complications of technology and technique. Are tools the only thing you care about? Or the only thing you can see? What are you talking about? Said the researcher. Did you even try to see the bonds he created? I pointed to Edgar. The circle of people he brought together. I feel the same way, said a voice from behind me. The man who had visited the restaurant earlier entered the room. He and I still have things to discuss, he said. I need to thank him for helping me. Another civilian? Exclaimed one of the researchers. What is security doing? It doesn't matter what you said, said another. We're not going to stop our research for such sentimental reasons. That's right, chimed in yet another one. You can't change our decision. Well, if sentimental arguments won't work, we'll just have to go through more official channels, won't we? A deep voice reverberated through the room as a pair of footsteps approached from the hallway. The operator girl has received an official request from the Fisherman's Guild for the return of Edgar. The man held out his bracer bag. It seems we made it just in time. The woman with him let out a sigh of relief. Yeah, didn't think we'd be helping him out so soon. It was Boris and Bella. Upon hearing Boris' words, the researcher's expression changed. Now do you see just how many people care about Edgar? I stepped forward. I'm begging you. Please give him back to us. Looking at our reinforcements, we started to shrink back. But think of the risk. One stammered. If an artificial intelligence develops its own will, it can no longer be controlled. Yes, said another. If we can't control him, there's no telling what he might do. Someone else may even take him and use him for malicious purposes. But
I've
started.
come to power.
even in the face of all of our support, they still refuse to return him to us. We refuse to give up too, however. In the middle of our standoff, a familiar voice broke the silence. And let me make a suggestion. After what felt like a long time, I slowly opened my blurry eyes. My mind felt hazy and my body was sluggish. I lie down, staring at the ceiling of my dorm room for a bit, before turning to the side. There,
Oh shit.
I saw Clementine sitting next to my bed. Her eyes were filled with tears, but she was smiling more brightly than I've ever seen her. I found out what happened later. Thanks to everyone, my personality was re-uploaded back into my body. I was allowed to keep living as Edgar as long as I didn't leave town. Clementine had agreed to stay with me and would be confined to the town as well. She said that didn't matter, however, as long as we could be together. But the morning after all that, I'll never forget the words she said to me. The ones are very happy to hear. Good morning, Edgar. The end.
Aww. That was a nice story.
Yeah!
You weren't too pleased with it being a love story at first, but like
I wasn't. I
it was-
really was.
it turned out to be cute.
I mean, it is cute, right? But it's still a little bit jarring that it was a love story after all of the other ones that
I
we've
mean,
read.
it's
If we
hard.
get to read the
It's
I'll
really
accept it,
it's
okay.
really hard to beat out the other ones though.
3 and 9. Uh-huh.
3 and 9 was really good.
It was really good. It wasn't. I didn't like the writing of it, but the emotional parts of it was very good.
Emotional damage.
The emotional damage was real. What's this?
Let me see. Oh, I found another long one for you, Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Back alley Dr. Glenn.
Right, I was literally right on top of this. As I was looking through the list.
Yeah. This has to be related to somebody we know. Right?
Oh?
You should get going.
Back alley Dr. Glenn. I don't see a summary for it, but I mean, it has the Marion Orr in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure once you start reading it, it will start like figuring out
Clicking.
who it's bit about.
Yeah.
Let us be going.
I love that I picked it out and you picked it out. That was amazing.
Because I was looking, you know what I was looking at? Like literally right above it was a Coco Panda's tail and I click on that. I was like, what's this shit? And I went back and right below it was just another book between that and Dr. Glenn.
That was good.
Yeah.
I'll go with whatever you want, Clara. You can choose.
Well, before I start reading, I'm gonna.
Oh, right. I thought of an idea, Claria. Oh, I think she's AFK. You think I can't go in here?
Leave it to me. My turn. Leave it to me.
Okay, Amber, I'm gonna be away for just a slightly longer. I'm just gonna go settle on my food.
Okie dokie. Hey, Basil!
Oh, patient! They were just asking for you.
I have to deal with the boss anyway, so no worries.
Okay, okay. Be right back then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this looks like fun. I love that I can brute force bosses. This is fun. Oh, treasure! Goldie treasure. Oh my god! The weather dragon scales! Oh my god! They're back! I can swim! Ocean. I can't go down that way. Okay. Nothing else here? Let's go real deep. Hey, I see a chest. Power ring? Anything else down here? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, before I go over there, what's over here? Besides a fish. Where am I? Oh! I think this is the way I'm supposed to go. Well, there's 2 ways to go. Oh, let's go this way. Okay. See a wall that I can break. What's the other way? Oh, treasure. Oh. Ah! I'm stuck.
Leave it to me. Leave it to me. My turn.
Slate fragment? Okay.
Understood. Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
See what's behind this wall now.
Leave it to me.
Treasure!
Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
I see a treasure chest, but I can't get it. It's on my map. Did those guys take it? Or is there one of these feckers alive? Oh, there's one of these feckers alive. There we go. Sapphire! I'ma die? Oh. No, Clara, don't die! You go into this water? That is a nope. Treasure chest is at the top of this thing, I know it. Right. Oh Jesus. God. No!
Understood.
Okay. Once more! Okay. Dive!
My turn. Alright.
We're going this way first. Oh, I can't? Damn, I'm hungry. Maybe I should make food. my god! Oh my god!
Understood. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
I'm stuck.
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome back. You get some food?
There was nothing, so I decided to do ordering. And it's gonna take like an hour. At long, so it's fine. Okay.
Starting to make me hungry and think about foods?
We should go get food.
I'll think about it.
I'll think about it.
It's just like the other door we found. This one has a similar hole in it too. I guess we opened it the same way. I'm missing a fragment piece. Well,
But that's too damn bad.
I think I know where it is. Oh my god. Eh. Hi. Bye. Now the question is, how do I get? Do I have to run all the way back? And do I remember how do I get back? Wait. I might not have to run all the way back. I'm being dumb.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm being super dumb.
Should I start reading the book?
Mm-hmm. Whatever
Alright.
book you want.
Alright. I just read the doctor one.
Okie dokie.
Chapter 1, The Back Alley Doctor. Remiferia, the Principality of the Beautiful North, was renowned across Zamaria for its advanced medical care. Its modern, well-funded hospitals attracted skilled doctors from a multitude of countries, and its cutting-edge medical technology was developed by specialists from the finest manufacturers the Principality had to offer. However, despite how brilliantly this nation's medical excellence shone, it concealed a dark side as well. Implementation of orbital technology had been put off for years in the poorer downtown district. As a result, it lacked not only the quality of life, but the level of hospital care that the Principality was so known for. Deep in this quiet, rundown area, where the actually chilly region's wind seemed to bite with a pronounced sting, stood only a single clinic. The 40-year-old building's age was apparent at a glance. Its dilapidated exterior did a thorough job of extinguishing any hope of finding a decent general practitioner within. On this particular day, the silhouette of two people could be seen through its dirty cracked window. 1 million Mira, shouted an older man as his eyes hysterically darted across the sea of zeros that flooded his brain. Across from him sat a large man in his mid-30s, sporting an unkempt beard that perfectly accented his apathetic demeanor. Few would recognize this massive muscular figure as a doctor, if not for the filthy frilled lab coat he wore. "Ah, my bad. Got the number wrong, didn't I?" the doctor answered in a low voice. He took the bill from the older man and quickly scribbled an extra zero at the end. Seeing the price jump by tenfold in an instant, the old man's face changed from an anxious pale to a furious shade of red just as quickly. "Dirty swindler, these treatment costs are ridiculous. I refuse to pay this." And indeed, it was far beyond what any legitimate doctor was legally allowed to charge for medical service in Remiferia. Watching the outraged old man sputter and curse, the doctor couldn't help but laugh. "Something tells me you've got more than enough Mira sitting around. Hard to say if any of it's clean, but I'll accept it, kind man that I am." The patient was a corrupt politician, his infamy bolstered by unending rumours surrounding his bribery and tax evasion. He had come to the doctor that day with 3 bullets in his body. It was apparent by his choice of practitioner that the politician had landed himself in some manner of serious trouble that would ruin his reputation if the wound had been publicly known. As this particular doctor had extracted the bullet in secret, however, the standard surgery cost had been bolstered by a few additional fees to ensure his silence. "I figured that would be more than a fair price in exchange for one's life," the doctor said with a calm tone that only barely concealed the threat behind his words. However, this simply served to provoke the old man even further. In a rage, he drew a concealed oboe gun and thrust it into the doctor's back. The doctor, unperturbed, simply continued smiling. "Oh, well, as a physician, I feel I should advise you. Your treatment isn't quite complete just yet. If you put a bullet in me, I certainly won't be able to take that last one out of you." He turned and pointed his finger at the old man's stomach. Running his hand over the spot the doctor indicated, the old man felt a jolt of pain. There was something hard still lodged under his skin. The doctor had intentionally left the last bullet untouched. Realizing the position he was in, the old man slowly lowered his gun, a look of pained defeat on his face. "I trust that cleared up the issue of the bill, yes?" The flame of anger left the old man's eyes. All that remained was fear.
My turn.
Shortly afterwards, the doctor finished the surgery. The doctor's name was Glenn. Despite being an exceptionally talented doctor, he was unaffiliated with any of the hospital in the Principality. Known as a back alley doctor, he treated everyone from politicians to illegal immigrants to murderers and demanded outrageous prices in exchange for his secrecy. A few days later, Glenn sat in his worn-down chair and gazed absently at the suitcase containing 10 million Mira that had been delivered to his clinic. He moved his gaze to the window and stared at the heavy drop of rain splashing against the pane. It was uncommon to get such laden raindrop in the colder northern climate of Remiferia. Surely, no clients would be showing up today for all days. He thought to himself as sheets of water began pounding on his window and the din of the rain grew even louder outside. "Pardon me." The sudden sound of a voice from behind him snapped Glenn out of his thoughts. He turned his head to see a nurse standing in the hallway of his dilapidated clinic. "Hi, Quella."
Hey, Kula. Thank you for the shout out, Clara.
You. And that's the end of chapter 1. Alright. Yes, what you want? Chapter 2. The Request. "Is there a doctor by the name of Glenn here?" the nurse asked with a smooth, dignified tone as she stood there in the entryway of the clinic. She had a youthful beauty to her. Glenn guessed that she must have been in her early 20s. "Yeah, that would be me." Glenn motioned for her to come in. She bowed, folded her umbrella, and closed the door behind her. The umbrella clearly hasn't served her well in the windy downpour outside. Raindrops trickled from her bangs, running down her cheek onto the fabric of her uniform, the front of which was completely sodden. Glenn carefully threw the mirror case in the corner, grabbed a clean white towel from a nearby shelf and tossed it to the nurse. She thanked him and quickly dried her wet hair. As Glenn watched her, he noticed that her movement had a certain charm to them. Getting a better look at her face, he found himself utterly captivated a moment. So much so that he nearly blurted out something along the lines of, "Haven't we met before?"
Yeah.
He stopped himself in time, however, not wanting to utter such a painfully cliche pickup line.
I was just about to say, sir, let's just, please.
He cleared his throat in order to regain his composure and then offered her a seat. "So, what do you want from me?" "My name is Sherry. I work as a nurse at Ameria General Hospital. A boy with an incurable disease was hospitalized just today. I request that you operate on him." Silence filled the clinic. Surprised by the lack of response, Sherry tilted her head inquisitively. A moment later, the response came. It started as a stifled chuckle, but quickly exploded into a great booming laughter. Glenn knew about Ameria. It was one of the biggest hospitals in the Principality, personally backed by the head of state, the Prince. It was a facility said to have brought together the best doctors from far and wide, and one that sported the latest medical technology and the most cutting-edge techniques. It was also a hospital that was protective of its image. Patients deemed incurable were outsourced so as to not reflect poorly on the hospital's track record. For a back alley doctor like that, his business relied heavily on confidentiality. Fuck, I can speak though. This wasn't an unusual request. The thought of having high and mighty hospital administrators having to resort to asking a disgraced doctor like himself for help was always a great source of amusement to him, however. Well, did the distinguished gentleman in the ivory tower of our hospital mention how much is it in for me? Glenn's jovial mood subsided, and he instantly switched to a business-like demeanor. If he was going to do their dirty work, he planned to make sure the compensation was thorough. Shirley sternly stepped back before responding, her voice firm with determination. There appears to be a misunderstanding. I'm not making this request on behalf of the hospital. This is my own personal request. Wait, what? Glenn was taken off his guard by the sudden admission. Averting her eyes, Sherry continued. The boy, my patient, suffers from crystallization. Crystallization. Glenn's eyes widened at the name. He knew it well. Further, he now understands exactly. Osma, we should keep moving.
Thank you.
Yes, keep moving.
I was wondering whether to stop you or not. I was like thinking, and then you noticed, so
Yeah.
Oh, cutscene. Oh no!
Oh! He goes stab!
He hurt! Okay, we kill this thing.
Yes. He knew it well. Further, he now understood exactly why she had come to him. The disease had great significance to Glenn, as it was no an exaggeration to say it was the sole reason he became a back alley doctor in the first place. Take me to the patient. I'll decide what I'll do after a medical examination, he said without hesitation. Sherry nodded in agreement. Chapter 3, The Patient. As the two of them made their way to the hospital, the rain let up, drifting them in a cold, humid air. From a fair distance off, their destination could be seen, standing proudly against the grey sky above. It's quite the place, isn't it? Glenn murmured, half to himself, as they arrived. Ameria General Hospital was built only last year. It was a marvelous structure, pristine and dignified. Clearly a project the prince himself could be proud of.
Inhale, fresh air. The great outdoors. Do you care to... Don't care if we can breathe underwater or not. People still belong on land, damn it. And that fish! Man, Adel, that thing was enormous.
Look there.
Baby! Help it! No, don't run away from us! Wasn't that a baby Sparta? That was being chased earlier. It looked terrified, the poor thing. I know! We save it, we take care of it, we kidnap it. Oh, you've got to be kidnapped. We gotta kidnap it to save it, okay?
Ew.
It's a fish that can walk, Piclaria.
That's not scary.
It's back! Ugh. I've got no choice. We must stand our ground. This is for the baby! How do I do damage to you?
How do I do damage?
Leave it to me. Leave it to me.
Dr. Glenn, this way. Sherry ushered the awestruck Glenn further inside. Given that he was an outsider not employed by the hospital, it was against Ameria's policy for Glenn to examine a patient. Knowing this, he hoped to stand out as little as possible. However, walking through the spotless gleaming hall of the bright white wall, only served to highlight the dirt and stains covering Glenn's shabby coat and the tangled mess of her hair that covered his head. Stares from patients and staff alike bore down on him as he hurriedly followed Sherry. He led him through a number of corridors until he arrived at the pediatric ward, room number 03. Sherry knocked twice before entering. Inside, a young man of about 14 years old lay in the hospital bed. As Sherry entered, he turned to her and puffed his cheek out in indignation. Sherry, where were you? The boy whined to an apologetic Sherry. Brazen would be the perfect description of the child, but it was apparent that he and Sherry were close. Sherry introduced Glenn to the boy, whose name was Hugo. Ah, yes.
Good name for a boy.
Honestly, that's a very nice name.
I'd name my son Hugo.
Same.
Ow! Oh, there we go. Kill it, 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 kill it. Almost dead.
It's cool.
Oh, get back here. Of course
Glenn-
it's going.
Sherry introduced Glenn to the boy whose name was Hugo. Hugo greeted Glenn with a friendly, "Nice to meet you, Glenn." Glenn, however, didn't respond. Instead, he swung his eyes around the room, spotting a violin leaning against the wall. He remembered what Sherry had told him along the way here. Said to be a violin prodigy, Hugo had already won a great number of competitions even before reaching his teens. The night prior, magazine had run features on him, praising the young musician's skills. Just when his fame was beginning to soar, however, he was struck with crystallization. Glenn looked down at the boy and saw that he wore a thick glove on both hands. Upon seeing the glove, the grizzled doctor made a sour face. He knew patients with the disease would often use gloves to conceal their symptoms. Let's start the medical examination, Glenn bluntly announced, quickly approaching Hugo and forcefully grabbing the boy's right wrist. What are you doing? Hugo
killed the
began
fish.
struggling. What? Sashimi.
Sashimi? Stop making me hungry.
Sorry, but I'm hungry too.
Hedda, help Amber being shus? What do you mean? I'm saving a baby dragon by killing a fish. That thing wouldn't give up.
At all.
Much as we would all like to rest now, I must continue to pursue that infant Spada without delay.
Yeah, save it. Are we gonna catch it?
No.
No, there will be no point in catching it. Come, let us proceed further inside.
No rest for the weary, huh? We must help the injured Spada. Baby.
You
Oh no,
Baby.
baby. Oh, poor baby. There it is.
He's so cute.
Oh, he's so adorable. Why would you protect it?
I feared as much.
A couple of knives are piercing the Spada's body. Poor baby. This is awful. Who would do something like this?
I don't know, but it will die if it is not treated immediately.
Treat it! Heal the baby! Asma's produced several tools from his bag, skillfully treated the infant Spada's injuries. Thank God.
Okay.
Baby! Aw, look at him! He's so cute.
Aww.
He's so
That should do it.
Yee. Nice job.
It was nothing. The Spadas that assisted us in fishing quite often suffer injuries. But the question of who did this to the poor creature still remains unanswered.
Yes, we must find and kill them. Are you sure you're the only one who comes in and out of this place?
As I said earlier, only people of my tribe are allowed to enter here. This is the first time I have come so far in myself.
Oh, what's that?
Here they come.
We healed your baby doll!
Hold on.
Are these wild spiders? They got tusks. No kidding. Did spiders in Syria have those?
When we captured them as infants, the first thing we do is break their tusks. Without them, they become more docile and are unable to spew their poison. However, they do not grow as large as wild spiders and become a slightly different colors.
Well, that explains the difference in appearance at least. Crap, they don't seem happy with us. But we healed your baby!
Traditionally, we take only one of a group of new spawn spider, but instead, so the older creatures are none the wiser. But this infant is older and quite heavily wounded, and I suspect we are to take the blame for that.
Yeah, I can't blame them for being mad and all, things considered. But check out the water, it's full of poison. So does that mean the poison in the river?
Indeed, these spiders are likely its source.
Well, at least now we know. But that doesn't help us out of this mess. There's no way we can take all these at once. What do we do, Adol? I feel like these are the same options.
Yeah. I believe we have no other choice.
Okay, on the count of 3, we make a move. 1, 2... Wait, what's going on? Baby! Aww.
Oh my.
Mrs.
Aww. He's like telling him, I got healed by these guys. Don't hurt them, please. Huh? They're leaving? Don't tell me that little guy convinced them not to fight us. Oh god, it's Kaz!
It's
It sounds like a Kaz.
As if. You soft in the head or something. They're beasts, not people!
I wouldn't say that looks like a Kaz, but it sounds like a Kaz. Who are you? Who are...
Who are you? You're not from the village.
He's with Ashara.
I'm Gaddis, the beast tamer.
I'm Gannis the Beast Tamer. That ain't me? Okay.
I was taming that beast long before you got here and screwed everything up!
Taming? Oh, sorry, that was you. That's blasphemy. These are sacred beasts. Sacred? Blasphemy. You thick in the head or something? What's so sacred about a bunch of poison-sued animals? was wondering what earned them the title of sacred here. Thought they must be some kind of mystical power. I had no idea. It was just because your people are a bunch of boneheads who can't think for themselves. So I figured as long as I was here, I might as well tame a bunch of them to fight for me. Couldn't hurt, you know. Is this guy for real? Hey, blonde kid. Your village looks after those things, right? Is it your tribe? But is your tribe just a bunch of con artists or what?
You. How dare you call my tribe?
My mistake. You're a proud, honorable group of zealots who take care of those sacred, poisonous, carnivorous monsters. Yeah, ha 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 ha.
Why would you?
Ow!
Why would you run to him?
Ozma, are you okay? What the hell is this guy? Don't be rash, you'll just get hurt.
Do not concern yourself with me, Adol. I simply cannot stand by and listen to my tribe and family being insulted.
Hey, blonde kid, here's a question for you. You snap their tusks to stop them from spewing poison, all on your own selfish needs, right? Well, I tame them through pain. How's that any different from what you do? It's very different. Go on, tell me, how dare you? No answer? Of course not. Subjugate them, make them obey ya. That's the only way people and beasts can live together. Laws and tribal traditions don't mean a thing. You're doing the same thing here. You just try to make it sound all like sunshine and roses when you do it. I wish to bash my head against the wall.
No, you should bash his head against the wall.
There is a difference. There is a huge difference. Let me explain you the difference. You're not hurting the creature. The tusks are probably just bone, and you can just cut them off. It's like trimming cats' nails so that they don't break and hurt themselves. That's why scratch posts exist.
I'll be right back.
So that they can scratch. So that they can keep their nails relatively sharp. In the wild, cats use trees and other such. But in the wild, they're very their nails can get caught and break, and they can hurt themselves very easily. I mean, the same can be done on the scratching post. It's very rare that happens, but like... There we go, I've explained the difference. This guy is evil, and I don't like him. There's many other differences, but I mean... Why do people like you exist? Kinda pathetic if you ask me. I hate this guy. I want to kill this guy. Can I kill this guy? What's wrong? Got no comeback? This is just sad now. Go away. I'm not wasting any more time here. There's no point. Oh, I'm glad. Wait.
Blonde kid.
Blonde kid! I was gonna kill you, but you're not even worth it. Before we meet again, make sure you grow up a little more, okay? Make me mad enough that I wanna kill ya. Ain't no fun otherwise. You're weird! Sir! You a weirdo! Kaz, is this a friend of yours? He a weirdo. And I don't like him. Damn it!
Right, I am back with my food.
Welcome back. What you get? What food did you
Thank
get?
you. I got burger.
Burger? Ooh. You're making me hungry. Stop it.
You really need to go get food.
I'll get food in a bit. Well, I think we managed to prove that Adol is not the culprit. Finally, after years. But what are you gonna do now?
I will tell the villagers about the man we met. People will be shocked, but without a culprit, the people of Salve will be unable to move on. As for the secrets of the Spadas,
You should tell everyone.
you are most likely correct. But I still do not feel ready to take on such action. I'm truly sorry. I wish I could deny it, but what that man said is not entirely incorrect. Much as it shames me to admit it.
Asma, you're nothing like that guy.
But I feel my tribe, my mother and father were responsible for protecting something important. Something more important entirely than the simple secret of Spada husbandry. However, I have no idea what that knowledge may have been. Their death came far too sudden.
I'm assuming that wild Spadas need to be able to produce that poison so that they can keep wild predators away. Like,
Probably.
that's why most creatures that are poisonous by nature have that. But when but it doesn't hurt to take away that unless you take it away and keep them in the wild. In that case, they have no way of protecting themselves. But these guys are trying to domesticate them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because they care for them and take care of them, you know, give them food, shelter, you know, and protect them from wild beasts, because, I mean, wild beasts aren't going to get into a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
They remove the poison so that, like, they don't hurt the people they're trying to help. So, no, you are nothing like the guy, Asma. Please. Anyway, did you read this? I'm sorry, I went on a rant.
Yeah. I learned to care for the Spadas from notes they left behind, and that alone was all of what they had written.
So you think they would have told you something of Elsa if they'd survived? What makes you think that?
My instinct tells me this. I believe the Spada carry an important secret, something more important than the laws mentioned concerning their nature.
Their nature?
Yes.
I cannot deny the importance of the law concerning them, But I know in my heart that there is more to be learned. Can you see any reason for the Spada to be called Sacred Beast?
Huh, what do you mean?
Normally, when rearing beasts in livestock, the community shares in that work, and its potential dangers as well. But Espadas are different. They have been labeled as sacred beasts, and everything about them is a mystery. Could it be that by establishing this label, my ancestors were actually trying to hide something?
Now that you mention it, I mean, a reason they could have put the sacred title on it is so that, like, people wouldn't go to their grounds and agitate them. Because, like, if wild spadas are easily agitated and spread their poison in the river, then it hurts the community. So... And they need spadas to survive, so they need wild ones, and they need to produce young spadas so that they can take some to help with their work and raise them in their own. I don't know. Maybe there's something else to it. I imagine there's probably something more to this than what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking that could have been a reason to just keep people away, right? If something is sacred, you're less likely to poke around with it, right?
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
I believe that my parents and my ancestors knew the true secret and worked to protect it.
Huh. I definitely see where you're coming from.
I see.
It was not so much anger that I felt towards that man.
I did.
I was more frustrated with myself for noticing the existence of a hidden truth, yet being unable to discover it all this time.
Well, but that's not your fault, right? And I don't think anyone would blame you for wanting to beat the crap out of that guy. I want to beat the crap out of him. I'm gonna enjoy it. That's a rather... Oh.
That's a rather blunt way to put it. Either way, I have much to think about going forward, both regarding myself and Surrey.
I'd be happy to help.
I appreciate the sentiment, Adol, but you should focus on getting your memories back first and foremost. Yeah, you can get into trouble.
Seriously, Adol, you just can't resist taking every chance he gets to help every living soul with every problem they've got.
Adol, Duran, I'm truly grateful for everything you have done. If you should find yourself in the area again, please know that you will always be welcome here.
Yay! I won't be thrown in jail anymore! Woo!
That's 2 out of 100, please.
Thanks, we'll drop by again for sure, if we ever in the neighborhood.
Next town, next jail.
I can't believe he's looking after an entire village at his age. That must be one hell of a weight on his shoulders. If we get the chance, we should check up on him again sometime.
Oh, dude, what a nice dude.
You can now accept quests in Sorey, sweet. Oh, Eclaria. That picture is lovely.
I just got a new pose for this. I just try it out. It looks good. I like. Should really try the other poses. There's a lot of like different poses I haven't tried yet.
I like that chat is whistling at you. Oh, I failed some. Oh, I didn't
Oh
realize.
no!
Some of these are timed. Whoops.
Ember, no! Oh, Monday!
I know, but I didn't realize I could fail these. I didn't realize they were timed. It doesn't say what, okay. So
I guess with the urgent.
If they have urgent on them, they're timed. If they do not, then you can do whatever. So sword training is mandatory, and I should probably do that sooner rather than later.
Imagine if you fail and then you go back to that town and they throw you into jail for not doing it.
Declare. Don't joke about that.
Look, it's a possibility at this point.
At this point, yes. And the fact that that's a possibility scares me.
Dude left the village and came back to get recaptured.
Halt, men! We've reached our next destination, the river.
Finally!
The misty peaks of the nightmare. You sure we didn't need to write down which way when we went? Fools! Men with my intelligence have no need for notes. How are you making a map without notes?
You know why? Because he can't read it either way.
But we have to go through it again on the way back, won't we? My fame is a result of my hard work and effort and strength of mind. I will smash through any obstacle or challenge that stands in my way.
Slowly. Slowly.
Listen up.
And the most valuable rewards in life come from hard work and perseverance. Huh? Where'd they go? Where are you? Answer me!
I think is that the blonde one, Sancho? Or is that
I have
the other one?
Yeah, this is me. We persevered enough for a whole lifetime. Just following you this far, we can't take it anymore.
Hey!
Come back here! Come back, I say! You're that Adolf fellow from the other day. You fiend! Getting ahead of me not once, but twice?
We should have let them go first.
We did! They
No,
went
yeah,
into
we should
the
just
forest
stay behind.
ahead of us.
No, we should just stay behind. Like, literally do not even move. Just camp out there. They would have been the one that's been captured.
Consider this the last time, though. From now on, the glory will be all mine. Have fun with that.
Just camp.
You can be this guy.
Commander Leo, a carrier pigeon has arrived from Governor General Griselda bearing an urgent message. She ordered our return to Castlin at once.
Grr. We only just got here. What does she want now?
Fine.
Fine. Sancho, Panzo, get back here right this instant. We're returning to Sansan. Reminds me of a story I heard at the bar once. Seems he's pretty famous general at one point. Pretty used to him calling him the Roaring Leo. I don't know what he's doing in Celceta, but he's got enough enthusiasm and energy for a whole army. Anyway,
Yes.
might be a good idea for us to head back to Celceta ourselves. Looks like we finished the map as far as the river, and something obviously got the army all fired up over there. Plus, we should probably report in with the Governor General. So, what do you say we head back to the city? I want to go somewhere else first.
Uh-oh.
Really? Okay, well, we'll head back whenever we're ready, then. Let me finish up the side quests, okay? They're important.
Kieran, I need to make more money.
Assuming I can still do it now. It's not locked, right? No, it's not. Okay. So, yeah. I think this is where side questing is going to come into play. I think this one I can't do. Because I don't know if I can... I think if I go back to town, I will trigger cutscenes.
Yeah, I think you just progress with the main story plot.
Yeah. I've also... I mean, I've got, like, these memories that I still have to get. But I think they're locked behind a section of map that I actually can't get to. So...
It's probably like locked behind the main story as well.
Probably. So I actually can't teleport anywhere from here, so I'll have to go to this spot to teleport over here. I might as well just walk back to the village. Probably the easiest way. They didn't make all these zones the same, unfortunately. So it does mean it means that like backtracking and exploring is like something that you do have to actually do. Anyway. Well, in that case, shorter stream than usual. But I think I'm thinking I'm calling it a day here. What do you think?
You better have to catch up on your quests and everything. And
I do. Yeah, there's a bit of grinding involved with this.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to watch me do side quests, right? Nobody wants that. Boring as heck. So, outro. Well. Oh my god. Oh
What?
my god.
What?
Whoopsie is playing Trails in the Sky?
Who?
What? You don't know who Whoopsie is?
No.
Get going.
Well, suddenly we are raiding immediately. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the raid message is very important, chat, okay? Welcome to the cult. Okay? Welcome to the cult. Everybody spam that in Wobsy's chat. He's part of the FF community. He's page 14, okay? That's all you need to know.
That's all.
I am so shocked and surprised and we're mind blown. Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's go and welcome Wobsy to the Trails Cult. All hail the Trails Cult. Woo! Let's go. See you guys tomorrow, maybe.
Maybe.